For our next interview, Rachel K. Godfrey sits down with Muhammad Abdul-Hadi, founder and owner of the mission-driven restaurant Down North Pizza. Welcome to the studio, Rachel and Muhammad.
Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Muhammad is the founder and owner of Down North Pizza, a restaurant on a huge mission. Their goal? To provide formerly incarcerated individuals with fair wages, new skills, and a stronger community. In addition to work, Down North Pizza assists its employees in fighting other barriers returning citizens often face, such as housing, legal representation, and transportation needs. After graduating from West Philadelphia High School in 2006, Muhammad took an interest in business leadership. In 2018, he graduated from Temple University with a degree in criminal justice and law enforcement administration. In 2021, DMP opened its doors to the public. Welcome, Muhammad.
Thanks for having me.
So I want to start off talking a bit about you. What Philly neighborhood did you grow up in, and what did growing up in that neighborhood teach you about culture and community?
So I'm originally from West Philadelphia. I grew up on the infamous 52nd Street. As a child, I used to run up and down 52nd Street. So for me, that culture of community and the sense of community that was established very young with me and neighbors, and just being in a neighborhood and just having that camaraderie with individuals in your neighborhood. Growing up, we didn't have much, but we had each other. And that was something that growing up was really the fabric of just me developmentally growing up in West Philadelphia.
Yeah, and it seems like that's something that stayed with you through
Yes,
the years.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Even though I'm in North Philly, I'm from West Philly.
Yeah. So what attracted you to the idea of using food as a tool for community restoration?
Pizza in particular is a universal language that everybody speaks. Mm-hmm. So for me, if we want to start having these uncomfortable conversations with individuals about these issues like the carceral system, criminal injustice, how can we get there? What is the vehicle that can take us there with the least resistance? And for me, it was pizza, because the fact that everybody speaks pizza, mm-hmm. That we made a good enough product that we can start to open up these conversations on the injustice that the criminal justice system has.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like everyone has, food pathways are so interesting to think about, because everyone has a different relationship with food, but it's not often you hear someone talk about something like pizza and not have a positive reaction to it,
Yeah, pizza, and even with me growing up, the reason why we do the square pies, because of the nostalgia of just growing up and having that square pie, whether it be at lunch growing up, or whether it be like the Elio's pizza that we used to have growing up in that white box. It wasn't great pizza, but I mean, that was all we had, at the time. But popping that in a toaster oven and just, enjoying that on a Friday evening, it's something that I remember throughout my childhood. So it was very intentional about having a square pie.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. And no offense to Elios, but Down North wins. And then what's the importance of Down North Pizza being located in Strawberry Mansion?
Because for me, I saw Strawberry Mansion as a big, with a lot of opportunity for somebody to go in there, because I look at it essentially like a blank canvas. Mm-hmm. Because looking at the atrocities that the neighborhood has been enduring for forever, and looking as Down North to be like the beacon of light for that neighborhood, to jumpstart some positivity in the neighborhood where there's a lot of the negative press around. Strawberry Mansion, for one, being the having the highest murder rate per capita within the whole entire Philadelphia. So for me, I think it was very important to put something in that neighborhood that was enriched in positivity, so that we can potentially uplift the neighborhood from within, with the individuals who have been in the neighborhood for so long and enduring all the pain that the neighborhood and the external circumstances brought to the neighborhood.
Yeah. And how has the Strawberry Mansion community responded to Down North?
Oh, the Strawberry Mansion community, they responded great. The response we've been getting from the community, and this from the city as a whole, for me, taking a risk, because when I was developing the concept and the idea of Down North, people thought I was crazy of thinking of putting a restaurant in Strawberry Mansion. And I believed in it, and I believed in, the team that I, put together, because I'm not a chef, to take me to the promised land, take us to the to the promised land. So for me, it was, I was very passionate about it. And, you know, being a serial entrepreneur, I've always seen value in hiring individuals who've been formerly incarcerated. When I was in construction, you know, my whole team that built the actual physical building was formerly incarcerated individuals. So not only did we employ it, the actual construction of that building was by a team of individuals who was formerly incarcerated as well.
And a bit earlier, we talked about building a business model that isn't predatory and that makes people feel safe and supported and want to come back. And so I wanted to know if you could speak a little bit to how your team found you and how they've stayed with you through all this time.
It was a lot of word of mouth for me, and we've been open for going on 3 years, and we have the same exact staff that we had when we opened. We've created an environment that's conducive to growth, and these individuals that work don't have to live in no shadows. They can be their true, authentic self. And I feel like when you're your true, authentic self, the opportunity for growth is limitless. So seeing, you know, people actually able to not only just work at the shop, but actually get their life back on track, because at the shop, we like to take the holistic approach. There's one aspect that you're working in the shop, but there's other things that may have been put on hold while you were incarcerated that need to be taken care of as well. So that's the very reason why we only open 4 days a week too, because I feel like these, you know, they had to take advantage of the days to also have family time and other things that, you know, that they may have missed out for years just sitting in a box.
Yeah, and that's so rare to have a workplace that is thinking about you in a holistic sense, like not just what's happening when you're here, but when you leave, we need to know that you're still supported too. That is rare, and that is amazing. So another question is, if you had to offer advice to a young person who's really interested in going into business, or who just has a passion and they really want to use that to nourish their community, what advice would you give to them?
I feel like if somebody wants, because for me personally, I feel like we're, as blacks, always driven into, by nature, we love helping. So those are the type of industries that we choose to get into. And as we know, the people that are always helping are not the ones that are being taken care of. So, you know, for me, when I see people that are anxious and, you know, this enthusiastic about helping, and I always want to tell them that, you know, I want you to focus on yourself first, because pouring from an empty cup is not a good feeling. And I think a lot of us, when we're in this helping, it's very lonely, and it's very, you know, it's so much because so many people need so much, that the focus initially should be on yourself before you're able to pour into others. So I think that's very important to people who want to get into these type of businesses and want to do things like that, that they need the focus should be on themselves and self-care and self, you know, things like that, because that's very, very important, especially doing this type of work.
Yeah, absolutely. Muhammad, I just want to say thank you so much for coming to the studio today, for taking some time to sit with us, and for the work that you're doing. And then really quickly, if you, anything that you want us to know about Down North Pizza.
The location, 2804 West Lehigh Avenue. You know, come see us. You come, you know, to the shop, you get to see, you know, the employees, you get to see the smiles, and you get to see like the environment that we built. Because once you walk into that building, you feel it.